Okay, good afternoon, Tanan. As I have posted yesterday, I will be posting to you right now the video presentation about the topic that I have presented to you with Module 3, Lesson 1. And this will provide you an overview about the whole contents of the said module. So this is going to be our last lesson or last module for the course Human-Computer Interaction. And please ignore Lesson 2 and Lesson 3. I will treat this as our pre-final period. And like I said, the final requirement shall be discussed to you next week. And so still ample time will be given to you so that it will be enough for you to work on the final requirement. So basically, the lesson of this module is going to be what we call evaluation techniques. So one of the important phases in the design process is to evaluate our artifact or our design against the requirements. So please remember that the requirements come from the end users, and it is vital that we model or we design or we develop our artifacts according to what the user needs. Okay, and so this lesson is going to provide you evaluation techniques. These evaluation techniques tell the developer, such as you, okay, except that the whole point of this course is in HCI, but actually evaluation also occurs in software engineering, so it's quite identical. So we will use the techniques in order for us to make sure that the artifact or the design has met all the requirements specified by the end users. Okay, and so this lesson aims to help you, number one, discuss the role of evaluation in HCI. So this is reflected at the tasks portion of our document. So we will also identify the goals of evaluation. So that objective is reflected from these contents. So what does evaluation do? What does evaluation aim? Also, we will take an overview, we will take an overview about two major evaluation techniques. So we can either evaluate our artifact or our design using expert analyses, or we can also evaluate our artifact or our design through user participation. So expert analysis, from its name, simply means that we will require the presence or the help of someone who is expert at that particular design or artifact. Okay, so to give you an analogy, for example, sa inyong PE pohon nga dances, let's say for example, you are tasked to dance folk dance. So ang evaluation sa folk dance, kinahanglan na usa ka dancer nga expert sa folk dance. Kay lain-lain man na siya categories. Okay, so that analogy is comparable to evaluation through expert analysis. So if your artifact or if your design involves graphic design, for example, we need someone who is into the industry of graphic designing. So we need an expert of that industry to be able to represent and help us in evaluating whether the artifact is really or has really met the requirements coming from the user. We also have evaluation through user participation. So with user participation, obviously, we will evaluate it with the end users. So the end users will help us in assessing whether the artifact has really met the requirements. Because at the end of the day, after the development, we will allow end users to use the artifact. So with evaluation through expert analysis, we have four approaches. Number one is cognitive walkthrough. So for cognitive walkthrough, to give you an example, and as you will be able to read from the document, we will quote unquote walk through with the expert and with someone who is expert. Iyang i-walk through ang iyang experience using your artifact. So for example, software imong artifact. So from login, pag-click kag login, naa siya form. So tapos pagkahuman, pag successful, naa kay main menu. So with main menu, pag-click ni mag-file, na po yung magawas nga, dialog box, etc. blah, blah, blah. So muna siya og scenario by scenario, interface by interface, iyahang ipakita sa tuwa kung nasunod ba ang requirements. So muna gitawag sa walkthrough. Okay, so heuristic evaluation this pertains to the heuristics developed by Nielsen and his partner. So instead of walking through with the artifact, ang buhaton natin sa heuristic is we will refer to the 10 heuristics. And using the artifact or looking at the artifact, we will compare, we will try to look around, pila ka heuristics ang iyahang gi-violate or wala gisunod. So if the violations are too many, then that means that we need to do some corrections. Okay? Sa ato ang artifact. We also have here model-based evaluation. So model-based evaluation, this is identical to walkthrough. So we have a model, kumbaga, we have a prototype, kumbaga, to base it to to our artifact. So it's like painting something that is based from an existing painting, something like that. Okay? So using previous studies in evaluation. Okay. So kanang mga for example, let's say in software engineering, kanang point of sale system, enrollment system, these are all common systems. And time-tested na siya, daghan na siya og sample products around. So most likely, ang mga software engineers had already learned their mistakes from the past and corrected it using what they have learned from the past. And so mura siya og kanang sa imong artifact karon, for example, imong artifact is software, kanang imong software di ana karon, what will help you in developing your software and achieving the correct, user requirements and most likely arrive to an ideal product is referring to the previous works of software engineers. So it's like if naay na-encounter ang software engineering error dito and then i-explain sa software engineering this is due to this and to that, pwede naman na siya i-apply sa imuhang current development para ma-avoid to siya nimo. So that's what we mean by using previous studies in evaluation. Okay? For example, sa HCI, murag known naman gid kaayo sa studies nga pag color red, generally na siya danger. So most likely gamitan na siya nga principle sa imuhang product. We also have evaluation through user participation, and from the name, this suggests that we will evaluate the artifact with the presence of end users. Two of the most commonly used user participation evaluation techniques are observational methods and query techniques. So let me go back to the folk dance analogy. So when the dancers are dancing folk dance, actually ang nahitabo is ang mga end users or ang mga audience, they are observing. Okay? And so with query techniques, ang boti pasabot ano niya is most of the kumbaga, we allow the end users to ask questions, and also we do the same. So we will arrive into gathering vital information that will help us arrive to the ideal end product. Okay? So also, they will also ask questions to us. Kasi dapat, inani kasi na siya, hindi pwedeng mag-depend sa end users and sa ilahang requirements all the way. Because sometimes their requirements become impractical or unrealistic. So remember, we are in the information technology side. We should also be enlightening into the minds of the end users kasi naiusahay na sila yung mga requirements nga impractical. No? So it could either be walay technology nga mo support, or if naay technology, wala tayo manpower nga kabalo sa paggamit ng technology. Okay? And so this lesson also comes with a short discussion about styles of evaluation. So kana siya sa user participation na siya. Meaning ang users, pwede na to siya i-test, pwede na mag-test within the laboratory. Ang downside lang ano niya is if ang artifact meant to be used outside, then medyo dili niya mamimik ang reality kung unsay posible mahitabo outside. Kasi exclusive man naman sa laboratory. Okay? So panalitan, enrollment system. No? Kung kada enrollment system, nag-involve siya sa gawas. Kay ang mga estudyante, magpila-pila man gid na siya. So, nagi simulation, mahitabo sa gawas dapat. And ang mo, qualify na niyang style of evaluation is ang field studies. Ang sa field studies, naa siya sa gawas. Ang downside po, kay daghang mga noises, mga interruptions, possibly. Hindi, kaya naman siya sa gawas. Okay? And vanish a summary. This will only make sense if you finish or complete reading the material and also, of course, the tasks. And like what I have posted, if you have clarifications about it, just comment it to the to my Google Classroom post or reach me sa Facebook Messenger during office hours. So I think this would be all. If you have concerns or questions, please comment it. And then again, we will meet next week for the discussion of the final requirement. And so please settle our permits as well.